Let's see. Let's see. Gonna wait a few minutes and see if we have anybody who's gonna join me. See if anybody's gonna join me. We knew it was gonna happen. We knew it was gonna happen. It was just a matter of time. I'm very sad for many reasons. But let's see what we got. Wait a few minutes and see if anybody's going to join us. Okay. If anybody's going to join us as we talk about this thing, as we talk about Will Smith, we knew it was going to happen. It's so interesting. It's April Fool's Day, but this straight up ain't no joke, okay? This is not a joke. This is not a joke. If y'all can hear me in the chat, please let me know by putting a one in the chat. I normally don't go live like this. Very rarely. I mean, I usually have my scheduled lives. I know, right? Hey, truth. I don't usually go live, but I was sitting here. I've been listening to music all day and check it out on my playlist. One of the songs I have, because, I'm old head. One of the songs I was listening to as I was working out and cleaning up was Will Smith's Summertime. Okay. I was jamming. I'm like, what a mess this is. What a mess this is. I'm jamming to Will Smith's Summertime. Hey, Javonda. And lo and behold, we knew it was going to happen. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Will Smith has resigned from the Academy. Vanity Fair issued did an article, and it says, with Will Smith facing possible expulsion or suspension after he assaulted Chris Rock during last Sunday's Oscars telecast, has instead resigned from the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts, and Sciences. The move comes as the actor is embroiled in the gravest crisis of his career, and as the organization behind the Academy Awards has struggled in its attempt to deal with the fallout from the altercation. In a statement, Smith called his actions, quote unquote, shocking, painful, and inexcusable, and said that he will accept any additional consequences that the Academy's Board of Governors deems appropriate. We knew it was coming. I'm going to tell you something else. It's interesting because I was out walking earlier today, and I know people have their thoughts about Will Smith, as do I. But interestingly enough, you know what crossed my mind today? Who crossed my mind today was Robin Williams. Robin Williams. Yeah, okay, you're always right. So what? I hate know-it-alls. Anyway, I hate know-it-alls. And I told Danielle when she was young, no one likes a know-it-all. In love. But anyway, uh, I I thought about Robin Williams. Here's another comedian. Now, of course, he didn't do anything like what Will Smith, but this man would, but obviously, Robin Williams was struggling too, because here you have another comedian that took his life. I pray that's not the situation for Will Smith, but it is clear. I don't give a damn what none of y'all say. It is clear this man is struggling. Check it out. Shout out to Courtney Michelle. She did a video yesterday that was outstanding. She went to the bottom of the ocean with this, talking about the Jezebel spirit. What? The Jezebel spirit that is on Jada Pinkett Smith. Y'all go check it out, because she went to the bottom of the ocean on that one and didn't know. Check it out. I didn't know, she had a rock band, right? I don't know if she's still in the rock band, but it's called Wicked Wisdom. Wicked Wisdom. And one of the songs is called Worship Me. Stop the madness. Stop the Madness. Check it out. I'd never heard the song before. But again, shout out to Courtney Michelle. She did her research on that one. So let's further investigate, shall we? Let me look at some comments here. We'll listen. Go check it out. Courtney went to the bottom of the ocean with that thing she did yesterday. She dissected the words of the song that Jada Pinkett Smith's band does, Wicked Wisdom, the imagery on the album covers. That stuff was deep. She took it, she analyzed it from a whole different realm. But listen, let's continue to talk about this more. He resigns, and he's willing to take any additional punishment that comes from the academy. Let me know what your thoughts are about this. You think he knew it was coming? Okay, idolizing human beings as poor. Yeah, yeah. It's more. Yeah, yeah. It is. I mean, listen. We as women, we have influence. We have to use our powers for good. We do. I think Mandrell talked about, kingdoms were destroyed for the love of a woman. The wrong women. I'm just saying. Let me see what else I can find here because this is breaking news. Like I said, I don't usually do the breaking news stuff, but I've been I've been just doing my thing today. I said, why not? So let's see what else is happening here. Will Smith resigns. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk a little bit more. Let's talk about his resignation letter, shall we? And it's so interesting because it's April Fool's Day, but it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. Lord have mercy, my dog is snoring. I should have got him out beforehand. Okay, I'm reading an article from Entertainment. Will Smith has resigned from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences days after he smacked comedian Chris Rock at the Oscars. Smith had previously apologized to the Academy and to Rock minutes after he slapped Rock on Sunday night. Smith won the Oscar for Best Actor in the role of King Richard. In a statement issued Friday, Smith said that he would accept any further consequences. So that's today. The Academy's Board of Governors deems appropriate. Okay, he says my actions at the 94th Academy Awards presentation was shocking, painful, and inexcusable. I already read that, but he also talked about how he hurt so many people, to include, of course, Chris Rock's family, because we talked about the fact that I think his daughter was in the audience. And even if she wasn't in the audience, having witnessed her father be emasculated and assaulted by another man is traumatizing at the very least. Okay. And also that the LAPD said that being that Chris Rock was not going to press charges, there was nothing they could do, even though it was before the world to see a physical assault before the world saw that, but they weren't ready to do anything about it, or said they could not do anything about it. Will Smith's statement says, I have directly responded to the Academy's disciplinary hearing notice, and I will fully accept the any consequences for my conduct. Okay, I read some of that. He says, the list of those I have hurt is long, and it includes Chris, his family, many of my dear friends and loved ones, all those in attendance, and global audiences at home. I betrayed the trust of the Academy. I deprived other nominees and winners of their opportunity to celebrate and to be celebrated for the extraordinary work. I am heartbroken. I want to put the focus back on those who deserve attention for their achievements and allow the Academy to get back to the incredible work it does to support creativity and artistry in film. So I am resigning from the membership of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and will accept responsibility that they deem necessary. Change takes time, and I'm committed to doing the work to ensure I will never again allow violence to overtake reason. Okay, look. Do you think he wrote this, or do you think his publicist wrote that? Do y'all think he wrote it or his publicist wrote it? Put in one in the chat if you think he wrote it. Two in the chat if you think his publicist wrote it. Does anybody think? I don't know. Does anybody know if the Academy is requiring him to give the Oscar back? I haven't heard anything about that yet. I haven't heard anything about that yet. I know a lot of people have their opinions about, Will Smith, but I have to be honest. I'm very concerned. Yeah, I'm very concerned. Um, Again, I was literally as I was on doing exercising today and Will Smith's song "Summertime" because I don't, that's one of the best songs of all time, and that song is like over 30, over 30 years old. But when that song came on and I was grooving, just to even enjoy the song, I couldn't even enjoy knowing what the cloud that is over Will Smith. So we've talked about this ad nauseum. People don't care about him. I do. I do. I care about him because I care about him because, again, like I said, I thought about Robin Williams today. And in as much as he did not assault anyone, he took his own life. And this is a man that made so many of us laugh. Also, he was a comedian by trade, but also he was an extraordinary actor in his own right. Extraordinary. And he took his life. I'm concerned. Interestingly enough, I was just looking at different videos, and let me see if I can pull some up. I'm not gonna play them, because again, that is Edward Anderson is over here. What? What the world did I do to deserve that? Well, if the slap is fake, listen, you ain't said nothing but a word. It's bad if he pulled the before you fire. Listen, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to save face. Because he knew, hey, it was a matter of time. We knew something was gonna come. They weren't just going to let this ride. They weren't. The Academy, because again, the Academy has already suffered serious PR damage on the strength. They didn't remove the man. Okay? That they coddled the situation. They had to do something. And it ain't over yet because somebody be sued. I'm just saying. Yes. I'm concerned. I am. I pray. I'm gonna pull it up because again, I was looking at some stuff yesterday, and I'm like, what the hell happened to them? Because interestingly enough, Courtney was talking about when she did her show yesterday that even to the Jezebel spirit to look at Jada Pinkett Smith now, because she's still a beautiful woman, but she looks gaunt. She does not look youthful and vibrant. Now, hell, I'm not youthful and vibrant either. But I look like myself. She looks like something is taking over her. And I really hadn't thought about it until Courtney brought it to, I'm like, oh, you hitting on something. You hitting on something. So here's the thing. I went and looked. I don't know about how many of y'all did this, but I did let me see. Thank you. Um Will Smith, Jada. Have y'all seen this? I'm gonna show y'all this. I'm going to hold on a minute. Fair use. I need to show y'all something. I'm a cut the volume, but I need to show y'all something. I needs to show y'all something. Fair use. This is for entertainment purposes. I need to show y'all something. Have y'all seen this 1000 Kisses song that Will Smith did with Jada Pinkett Smith back in like 2005? I want y'all to see this. Do y'all see this? You see how she looking at him? Something. Did y'all see this? Listen, there was love there. What the hell happened? I need look look at this. Listen, there was love there. Something happened. She whooping that ass in love. Look, I got to show it real quick. Check it out. You see it? Do y'all see this? They got their kids in the video. The three kids. I listen. I understand that they're actors and actresses. I'm sorry. There was love there. There was love there. There was love there. There was love there. Something happened. Yeah, all three of the kids were in the video. Y'all seen it? I need y'all to tell me something. But check this out. You see how she's looking, right? You see how she's looking. Now, juxtapose that to how she looks now. Let me pull it up. I need y'all to tell me, I need y'all to work with me, not against me. I need y'all to help me understand something. She looks gaunt and he looks tired as hell. She looks gaunt. Let me pull it up. Okay, hold on. Let me pull, I'm struggle streaming. Y'all work with me, not against me. She looks gaunt. Her face looks sunken in. Okay, check this out. Check it out. Yes, I am. Oh, you see my stuff behind me? Yes, I am. Proud military veteran. Do you see how she's still beautiful, but her face is sunken in? He looks tired as hell. I'm just saying. Now I know I got bags under my eye. I know that. But something, yeah, I mean, something. Okay, listen, I want to have some conversations with y'all. Let me go ahead and open up the lines. Let's talk further, shall we? I'm not gonna be before you long because I wasn't planning to do it anyway. Um, hold on a minute. Let's see here. I'm not gonna be before you long. It's amazing if let me see here. Let me read some. Okay, it's amazing if this never happened, we wouldn't. No, well, not true because people have been talking about this a long time. People have been talking about this a long time. Okay, listen, I understand they are getting older. It's not, and again, I have remember, I don't know if y'all saw, I had several of my sorors, three of my sorors who've been with their husbands for over 20 years. They've gotten older, as we all have. Put some weight on here, but they don't look like that. And again, they got money. What's up, Truth?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm well. I'm well. God is good. Now, it's funny that now we're focused on her looks and things. And prior to this, a lot of people were saying, how good she looks because of her age and that she looks lovely and a great individual. And people were advocating for her and things like this. Even when this initially came out, when this first came out, a lot of people were, especially a lot of women, were on her side because, like Miss Haley Bale said it. She said she believes that this could be, payback, and that's what a lot of women were saying. It was like, screw Will because he did this, that, and that to her. So why couldn't she do this, that, and that? That's payback. It's okay for him to do these type of things. So nobody was vilifying her. Nobody looked at her in this bad light. And now we're using the words Jezebel and stuff like that. Um,
Well,
which,
Jezebel's spirit.
yeah,
Not
yeah, well,
calling her Jezebel, but the Jezebel spirit, and again, what that the breaking down of what that
oh, so
means.
she's not it?
There's a Jezebel spirit on her.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I mean, you are what you do. Your behavior is who you are, right?
There's a Jezebel spirit on her.
Oh, okay. I see how you're trying to parse it, but yeah, I ain't gonna parse like that. But
Okay.
yeah, so but yeah, when she first did this, I had said that. I had immediately said that this was what it was. And I got crucified because of
A
that.
Jezebel spirit. You said that she's a Jezebel. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I got crucified. Oh, you don't know what she's going through and things like that, and you're just trying to defend Will and things like that. But now, all of a sudden, now she's the bad guy. Now I'm just confused. And a lot of these people, I remember when the conversations came out and things like that, and I remember certain individuals them saying these things. But now, because the wave is trending in a different direction, a lot of people are moving that way now,
That
and
happens.
it's funny. It's very very funny. But what I do hope is that since this is in a much more illuminating light,
Hmm.
that we take in consideration that this actually exists now. That there
I
are
don't think there was ever a question that it exists because again, there are too many examples of that.
well again, I've had numerous conversations. And we actually, matter of fact, we've had a conversation about this, not about her, but in
Hmm.
reference to these type of women being out here.
Oh yeah.
And I told you that there are more than what you can possibly imagine. That the days of this all loving, all nurturing, all forgiving, unconditional loving woman, it's hard to find her. These type of women where it's never satisfiable, never good enough. You could be the best man you can be. And again, I'm not absolving him because he should have did a better job. Or not he should have did a better job. I wish he had better examples in his life to know what to look forward to. Because I looked at the conversation yesterday uh, when Sir Hale and a couple of guys had jumped on Courtney's thing, and a
Mhm.
lot of them were saying, well, Sir Hale was saying that he wished for a brotherhood to be involved to be able to help him out. But then that would contradict the situation of when we go against women for allowing other women to be involved in relationships. We condemn women for bringing other women into, marriages, but then we're going to try to make it right for brothers to bring other brothers in marriages. Like we can't do that. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I guess maybe I'm not completely understanding because I'm thinking maybe to bring I'm assuming, and again I didn't listen to that, assuming that other brothers to support brothers like that going through things, not necessarily to tell him what to do with his marriage, but to support him as he's dealing with whatever he's dealing with.
Well, that's
Now,
what that's what they were. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm clarifying. They was actually saying that people is not telling him being there to support. Everybody's actually giving an opinion about what they would tell him what to do, and if they were him, what they would do. And those who are for marriage itself, you should never, regardless of anything that's going through, you should not advocate for somebody to leave their marriage. You shouldn't do that.
well, you know what? I'm gonna have to disagree. I understand in theory. Well, yeah, but again, if I see that it is destroying someone, because again, they're gonna do what they're gonna do anyway. But if it is destroying the very person, I'm going to say, listen, what are you doing to yourself? Now they may stay. I have family members that stay, but I've seen what staying has done not only to them, but what it has done to their offspring. I've seen it. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen it. And so again, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to disagree
I've
on that.
seen it too, and I'm an offspring of that.
Well,
So again, for me, I'm not going to. It's a difference than being there for someone, and then you basically not not knowing your place. My place is not to tell another individual what to do. My place is to basically be there to comfort them and to basically, guide them in which way they should go, still maintaining who they are for the relationship, even if it means separation. It can mean
yeah,
separating for a time. But I will
yeah.
never, it was a lot of people saying, oh, if I was him or if I was Will's friend, I'll tell him to leave his wife. Then that's why a lot of y'all's not married. And a
Well,
lot of y'all, most of
that
y'all get
separation
married,
is part of that too.
it's
Separation is
different
part of
between
leaving for a while
separation.
also. Because again, but again, the thing about it, and
No,
I'm
they're
this
talking about divorce, not separating.
well, let me hold up. Because what I will contend, one person cannot want it bad enough for two. And that's real. And because we don't know what the situation is here, but going back to that Jezebel spirit, he is fighting a spirit, a demon. But again, in any marriage, one person cannot want it bad enough for two. Can't. Let me add Ed. What you got, Ed?
I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I don't agree with that. Divorce should never happen. I do not agree with that at all. Um, I mean, personally, oh, sorry, my phone. Personally, I do think what's been said, at least in our space, is that Jada wants out and Will won't let her out. And so a lot of that, what she's doing is like pushing the limits to see if she can crack Will And Will
Mm.
has his own issues. I mean, yeah, this is what BGS has said. This is what other people say. I mean, personally, and that's how I'm gonna go with it, because personally, I don't believe this is a Jezebel spirit, personally. But what I will say is, this is a situation where Jada doesn't understand that Will is an institution, and she's breaking that up. But that's what I'll say. But I will say right now, and I'm gonna mute it real quick. I don't believe that divorce is never an option, because honestly, you open that door, and then people gonna find a way out of that marriage. Violence. They gonna find a way out if they don't want to be in there. So having that ideal is cool, but you can look at Will. If what I'm saying is true, and we don't know that, that's just my opinion. That's a perfect example of what can happen when somebody wants to do something, and then Will doesn't want to go forward because of his views on marriage, because of what his dad and his mom went through. And I'm not saying he's holding Jada hostage at all. What I'm
Hmm.
saying is, it's like he's fighting. It goes back to that you can't want it for two kind of thing. Like, she's checked out, and you know how it is when you truly checked out. You don't care if you get caught cheating. You don't care if you get caught whatever. And this goes both ways for men and women. You don't care. It's sleeping in somebody's bed. You don't care. And the other person won't leave, so it just starts ratcheting it up. So let me mute it real quick. But yeah.
And I've seen that too. I've seen that too. The person is acting I mean, but will not leave, but wreak holy terror for everyone that is involved, that's in there. I've seen it. I've seen it. So at what I mean, and again, and again, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I am, like I said yesterday, and I said it today. One person can't want it enough for two people, and I'm not gonna kill myself trying to make you want it. And he may not be killing himself literally, but he's definitely doing it figuratively. His
Yeah,
reputation, his standing, and it's like everything that he has worked for, and it'll come back, but it's gonna take time. It's like it'll go to hell. And if what they're saying is true, because people can manipulate anything, but they're showing footage of her standing up as he's walking to slap this man.
yep.
No, they not. That
For me,
laughing
for
thing.
me, I was
Yeah, go
saying
ahead.
to clarify because again, I guess people aren't listening. So let me
Was it
clarify.
necessary to say that?
Yeah,
That's condescension, but go ahead.
yeah. You know, yeah, that is. But
That's what folks say when they don't get agreed when you lose the vote. But go ahead.
No need for condescension over here.
so,
You lost the vote, but that's cool. Go ahead.
so I didn't say there's no reason to get a divorce. I said I am not going to tell another person because I know my place to get a divorce.
Mhm.
If that individual decides because they know better or they know their worth or they decide that this marriage is destroyed and it has no beneficial, properties, there is no reconciliation, there is no fixing it, then they decide that. But
Uh,
I'm not going to be held liable for contributing to someone else's.
well, I mean, eh,
I'm speaking. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk. I didn't say anything. So I am not going to, and that's not going to change. If whoever feels they should do that, that's how you feel, and you should feel that way because you are you. Or
okay, so this is not that serious. You're kind of making this a lot more serious than what it is. But I will say this: when what you said the first time, here's the reality of the situation. You ask people if you come. This is not we're walking up to people telling people what they should do. This is people like, let's say somebody comes up on a panel. Let's say I ask TJ for advice. Let's say something that she knows that I don't know. Let's say it has something to do with the military experience that I don't have, and then I don't like what she has to say, and then I'm just like, well, I don't think you know what you're talking about. Even though you clearly know, more than what I know. At the end of the day, that's not her fault for giving me a thought that I didn't want to really have. Because truth be told, she could be right on the money. It's just that some people look for other people to say certain things before they actually do it. And here's what happens: what people will do, going back to your divorce thing. Because I'll give you the truth. You can talk about how people in the military get married just for the money and monetary aspect of it, and stuff like that. And then it's cheating. I mean, you just had a situation with somebody killed somebody, because of they got caught somebody in the bed in the military. That was the story that was going around. And so my point in saying
It
that
happens a
is,
lot.
yeah. So the point of me saying that is, I get how you feel about it, but the reality is, if somebody goes up to a panel, not just a panel, but you go up to people and you're asking them their opinion, not people volunteering it, but you're asking it, then you need to be prepared for what that is. And I get your own personal view of it. That's what you're saying as far as how you discipline yourself, saying I'm not going to do that. But the reality is, that's one of the things where certain people won't, certain people will. There's certain things that I'm not going to tell other people to do. Like, for instance, me, I'm not going to tell somebody what they should do with their children, just, because I don't have any. But I will say, but if somebody asks me what would I do, then I'm gonna be like, look, if it was mine, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm pulling that extension cord out. Oh, well, you can't hit their kids. Now, if they go and hit their kids with the extension cord because of what I said, that is on them. That is not on me. But that's how I view it.
And I think that's a good point because that's what M. Mills says too. She's, I agree, it's not my place to tell someone to either marriage. You have to come to that decision on your own. But here's the thing:
Yes.
if somebody asks me, now I'm not gonna just insert myself. But if you ask me, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Yeah, but those are two different things. There's a lot of people inserting themselves, and there's a lot of people that do insert themselves. Unlike Edward, he said, "Look, I have no skin in the game, so I'm not even going to try to even tell you how to handle children." That's actually intellect. But sorry, people don't follow that format. And
But he
again,
also said if people ask him, he would say, even though he doesn't have any children, if somebody asked him what would he do, he said that that's what he would do.
yeah, if they ask.
Mhm.
Again, those are two different things. It's a lot of people in certain things that they don't even know what they're talking about. They're just telling it from an emotional standpoint of what they would do. And again, what I would do does not mean that would work for you. We are two different individuals, two walks of life, brought up two different ways. I might come from trauma and divorce and all that broken up trauma and mess and bring it to you telling you, oh, yeah, you're supposed to leave that individual because that's something that I'm used to. When that individual could be from a marriage that has longevity, that had to work through some things, and their mother and father got to 50, 60 years old, but yet I'm including their influence. And let that be a person that actually take heed to my counsel. That's very destructive. For me, I'm very careful. I'm careful about things because I seek to do things the right way.
Well, I respect that position. I think as we're talking about this particular instance, and again, there's
All
no way
right.
for us to know what's going on, huh?
No, I was saying, all right, I'm back.
Um, I think as we're talking about this particular instance, from the outside looking in, not knowing anything, the inner workings, but only going by what they have shown us and what it clearly seems as though there's one person that's more has vested in the process than the other. And in that, to that respect, because of that, it's breaking them down. It's breaking them down.
Yeah.
It's breaking them down to the point. And again, this person, Zachary said, I think what happened Sunday night, the mask from Will Smith had slipped off. And that may be true, but I'm going to tell you something. There's a part of me that is really hesitant to believe that because, again, you have a person that has been in the game for over 30 freaking years. And here's the thing. Just
That individual right there. Go ahead. No, I'm just showing you. Listen what he said. These are the individuals that I'm talking about.
who said what?
No, I'm just saying, right, like listen to what he said. This is his true self. How do you know that?
I mean, okay, that's their opinion. They're in the comment
What
section.
everybody has, I mean, we're all speculating. So people have, they're going to have their opinion. None of us know. We're
Yeah,
all
like
Yeah,
speculating.
I
that's the point I'm saying. Nobody knows anything.
yeah, but the problem, okay, so here's the problem with that. The problem is these are public figures. So we do know a couple of things. Like for example, Will stated he tried to act like, Jada didn't sleep with August Alsina. So then why you go on the table talking about all this? Unless I'm just not to take you seriously for anything you say. So at that point, I don't know if his kids are his. I don't know. I mean, they act, I we if we gonna put that on the table, because a lot of people were saying that to defend Jada too. And I know you came on here earlier, preaching against the on the opposite end. But people are saying, "Oh, we don't know if Jada laughed, if Jada did this." Then they played the tape right after what had happened. So a lot of people are saying we don't know if this is real or not. Well, and that's why I made a joke in the chat earlier saying what the consequences seem to be real. Because look, he quit. You don't. We know when black folks, well, screw black, not just black folks. When folks in corporate America, regardless, quit before they get fired, they know that just happened with Cuomo's brother. And
Yeah.
it turned out Cuomo about to sue CNN because he's like, because they realized they didn't really have what they had on his brother, so he was more in the right. But he did the same move. He quit before they could fire him. So it happened. So my point is, we're intelligent people here, and we do want to look for what the truth is, and we can make decisions based on what information it is. If we find out more, we find out more. I'm gonna tell you right now, they were looking at getting rid. They're looking at getting Will for like 10 years. They're looking for expelling him for that ain't no he just suspended. It ain't no because he wouldn't have quit if it was just a suspension. They're looking at getting him for like 10
Oh yeah, they're
years.
going to try to bury him, and everybody's going. This no, no. This is they're going to try to bury him
And
because
what that oh go
outcry,
ahead.
outcry going on now. And the sad part about it is, it's even with us, we're outcrying that this man be punished, and it's just crazy, man.
No, it's not the people. The academy gives no damn, and you can see how they act. Regard, they don't care about what the people think. This is them being mad. From
No,
what
I didn't
I
say they care. That's not no. Listen, what I'm saying. I'm not saying they care. I'm saying this is actually what is going to provide validity to it. That we are outcrying. Basically, we are being in conjunction with Academy. That if they do it, instead of us being opposing to it, we're going with them.
most people agree with what he did. As far as so, when you look at outcry, then you got to break it down who it is, because it's not just black folks. Here's the thing: the people. The thing about Hollywood is, for the most part, they don't. So take that out of it. Yeah, that gives validity for like people's perceptions on social media. But the reality is, the decision they make is not being made based on what people are saying. Because the truth is, a lot of people don't even believe. Most people actually don't even believe this really happened. Like, this is now where people are maybe starting to call into question, and I'm talking about intelligent people. So you also have that part. Let alone then, if it happened, what is the opinion on it? What a lot of people are doing, at least in the YouTube world, is they're basically taking how people are reacting to it. As far as, like, let's say our world, women are advocating for it. Some of them are not, but women are saying, this is protected black women, and they're taking the real reaction to it and talking about that. But as far as the Academy, the thing about it is, you don't do that at the Oscars, and that's how they view it. That's a thing that they covet very much so.
Oh, I
And this
know.
is not Will's first time doing that. A lot of people don't know. Will got mad when he lost against Ali. And look, it was close, but I mean, you lost against Denzel. It ain't like you. I've seen, like, people have gotten screwed over white wise a lot worse, like, in a lot closer races. So this is not his first time, and I'm not against Will at all. My thing though is, it's a irony. Again, it's kind of like, yeah, people have some opinions I don't agree with, but at the end of the day, people are going to have opinions, and then you just map it out. But the Academy, when they remove him from the Academy, that means a lot of his production stuff, there's a lot that comes along with that. A lot of big time movies that he was doing and how that was bad. And I don't think he should go through all of that. But at the end of the day, man, if the point is, this is what you did for what? To protect the honor of a woman that, quite frankly, you know, I don't even think she even thought it was that serious, because you can see what her reaction was after the fact.
I
real
can, we
quick, let
can
me
hear you.
read. Real quick, let me read something else. In Vanity Fair, it says the Academy plans to forge ahead and conduct a formal investigation disciplinary process on April 18th, at which time the organization could impose further sanctions or punishment in accordance with its bylaws. In the meantime, here's what Smith's resignation means for the actor's Oscar future. Yes, he still gets to keep his Best Actor Oscar for King Richard. Yes, he can still be invited to future Academy Award ceremonies. Yes, he can still be nominated for future consideration. No, he is no longer a voting member of the Academy. So it begs the question, by him resigning, did that enable him to stay in,
Yeah,
you know,
it
the
sounds like it. It sounds like I see where you're going. Yeah,
yeah,
that's where I
because
would lean to. That's where I would lean to.
and it's kind of what Edward says. It's kind of like, you quit before you get fired, because even in the federal government, if you quit, you can still apply for jobs at other federal agencies, even the agency that you quit from a few years later. But if you get fired
Yeah,
and that is put in your record when you go to apply for another federal job, that is going to show that you were removed from federal service.
yeah. That's how a lot of businesses work. They'd rather have you resign instead of disciplinary, and then you can keep your benefits too.
Yeah, this is all before they could switch out all of that once they pull these sanctions. I do think they're probably gonna let them keep the Oscar, but the thing about it too is this is not a situation where it was something where it's like if you quit, like they this is something he did on his own, not something to where like they probably reached out say, hey, probably if you quit it's gonna be easier because you take a responsibility. That, like, I think that whatever, we'll see, because we'll know April. I could be completely wrong, but whatever comes is going to come. But the thing about it is, I mean, and look, I hope it's what you just said. I hope it's what you just said because but
You
I
believe
hope it's what,
the worst part is going to come. That's what you believe.
yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
it's
I
still a
think, I think, I think because I think there's a lot of people that are upset that Will became the guy. There's a lot of folks that are upset. There's a lot of white folks. Carey's perfect example of folks that are mad he became the dude. Like Will was one of the last real bankrollers as far as bankable actors, and a lot of people feel he was chosen and they don't have true intent. Like Jim Carrey's intent is not, some people are bigging up what Jim Carrey said. I'm like, look,
exactly.
I like Jim Carrey, but Jim Carrey's intention behind what he did, why
Yeah,
he said,
it was
had
bull.
nothing to do with that situation. It had to do with a lot of Hollywood politics,
Yes,
you
sir.
know. So,
Yeah, because he's been
but
out of the limelight for a long time, and he was a
and,
good actor too.
and he was pushed out. He was pushed
Yep.
out because he had a lot of, like, what people say happened with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm
for
about to say.
real what
With
happened with
Jim
him.
Carrey. Yep. Yep.
So they gave him the quiet, they gave him the quiet room. They basically said, did what y'all talking about. Yeah, we're gonna remove you, and if you don't make noise about it, it might be better for you, aka Sonic.
Yeah.
But and Sonic
Yeah,
has
that's
turned
why he
out to
got
be
the
really
yeah.
popular.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why he got those small little roles and everything like that, and it still fit his personality. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, but
Yep.
Jim Carrey feels like Hollywood ostracized him, and he's got a personal gripe against Will too, where he shouldn't. But the thing is, because he thinks Will didn't reach out, because um, yeah. So at the end of the day, you got a lot of folks like that, and then you got folks in more powerful positions that probably, I heard they're really mad. I heard the folks that actually
Yeah.
like decision makers, like
Yep.
they are mad. Like they are. Papa John's said the N word. It's time to get him. I don't care if you founded the company mad. We're gonna put
Well,
Shaq in there, and
here's the
you.
thing. That's
Mhm.
what concerns me, and again, what concerns me is not just because it's him, but again, it's like I said. I think Mandrell was saying, he's a failure, this and the other, and I said, don't you think he knows that? And that's a hard pill to swallow, to accept, excuse me, audience, that you have fucked off your
Exactly.
entire career.
Exactly.
That is hard, that you have tricked off everything that you've worked for what? Now, if there is something, if you tricked it off and there is some reconciliation that you and your wife can come together as one and and work through whatever issues you all are having, so your latter years will be better than your former, then it's worth it. But if
Yeah,
not,
yeah. And that's where that's what you're talking about. That's the position I'm coming from. It's like for most of the people that I'm hearing, majority of the people are not in favor of him like how I am, of his actions or him, period. A lot of people want him discarded. A lot of people are talking about, oh, it's no hope for him. We're not taking him along. He's like he's just trash. Like he's unredeemable. It's nothing that he can do to, pick himself up. And again, that is not my place for me to tell him. I'm not God. I'm not over top of him. That's something for him to go through in his life as a man to get himself together.
Yeah, but people are gonna. I mean, it's kind of like the stuff with politics and stuff like that. I mean, people are gonna have their opinions on their ability. It's almost like, do you want somebody to win versus their ability to win? And even with Will, a lot of people think, because that's different than the marriage thing. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of folks that think Will should have never married Jada in the first place. I actually take that position. And I
Yes,
take the position
I do
that,
too.
and it's the same thing with Devon Franklin. And I don't have a problem with Megan Good, but Megan, I said it before I even heard her say it. She's a free spirited type of, that is who she is. There's nothing wrong with that. But when what the key thing I want people to understand is, I don't care if the woman is good or if they are not. You are this idea that you can change a woman. Like, and when I say change, I'm not talking about software updates. I'm talking about, like, you can't turn a
software
Linux
update.
computer into a Mac. You got dudes that think they can turn a PC into a Mac. Like that's what I'm talking about. Fundamental, foundational things of who they are. And so the one thing that I expect, y'all know, I say something we do, because women don't like the car, so we hit them up with something new. To solve the computer. I'm not an object. Well, you're still gonna be an object, but we'll give you an updated one. You know. But the point, but the thing about it is, and that's the thing with Devon Franklin. Same thing. Like, and I get it. It's Megan Good. I get it. So that same, but still, and he's the one that did the divorce. Right. So this is actually a good example of you doing it. And he's Christian. He's a pastor. So he has just as much things in his mind that will be going on as Will Smith. Because the argument it's always been with Will is his family is his image. Okay, so now your family is wrecked your image. So now what are we gonna do?
Well, and
Because that's
Yeah,
check this out. And again, I have no way of knowing, but it begs the question. Many people said over the years, particularly when their children were younger, talking about Willow and Jaden, that because they raised them in such an unorthodox fashion, this is the result of that.
but they was championed. Every like
She
this is
did.
this is what
you
this is
mean in
what.
Hollywood.
Oh, because
No,
people
I
that
mean, man,
That's what I mean.
we was having everyday conversations. People have been going over this for so long, over this media thing about them and how they've been parent, and people have actually been agreeing with that garbage.
Well,
I've
at
had
least,
several.
nobody I knew.
I've had
yeah.
like shoot, man. You already know these people on here is not conservative. They don't follow laws. They people more. It's more people in liberalism than actually following rules and getting back to conservative. Like
Well,
we are.
Nobody I knew was
well, I mean,
championing that foolishness.
when you say art with people, I mean, it sounds like you be on Twitter. There's a reason I ain't on Twitter that much, because they be wilding out over there.
No, I'm
Um,
talking about my Facebook. It's everywhere because these are
but,
it's not just here or Twitter that these conversations come. People have these conversations
well,
even at work when I go to work and everything like that. When I be serving customers, they will be actually talking about this crap. This is why I be saying this stuff is actually affecting us on a large scale.
so Will has kids outside of his Jada Pinkett Smith, and
Yeah,
his
he
other
has his
kids are
older
not.
son Trey,
Yeah,
and
the
he
oldest
seems
son.
His other
very normal.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're not like that. So this is so again, and then when you look at Jada Pinkett Smith, her mom, and their track record, again, like the biggest reason
See,
why I hammer Will is
I know.
because at the end of the day, if a woman presents herself as she is within a certain level of understanding, it's kind of like, well, it doesn't matter what Future tells you. He has like 3 baby mamas already. Are you signing up to be baby mama number 4? It really doesn't matter. You know what you're walking into, so they don't complain if you become that. If you know what I'm saying. Now that's the kind of thing I mean. So you knew Jada like Tupac. You knew all of that stuff, and yet you still thought you could transform her. And what you're seeing is the result. You knew what stocks, and I'm not trying to say she's bad, but her mom had problems too. And so it's like this is what you pull from, and you knew who you were. Will, and a lot of people talk about it from a compatibility thing. And what Will thought is, I'm still Will Smith. And maybe it was something there when you showed that video and all of that. But at the end of the day, dudes have to stop thinking they can change women from who they are. She needed to be with somebody that was more equally yoked to her, because it
Mhm.
clear no matter all this fame and stuff that you wouldn't even care who Jada Pinkett was right now if it really wasn't for Will Smith. That is a fact. Like, and I like her in Gotham and The Matrix and some of the other stuff she's been in. I mean, people forget Will Smith was supposed to be in The Matrix before they got Keanu Reeves. So you're gonna tell me that Jada Pinkett showing up in the next movie was just by happenstance? And somebody brought something up it was real interesting too about Jada Pinkett Smith, because I'm gonna hop off thinking that and this Hollywood is not the same as like the music industry. Like, they really, I'm not gonna say they don't like short folks, but like they want their women to, you
Yeah,
know,
model,
like as
model.
far as the movies, they ain't gotta be tall, but they want them up there a little bit more than like 5'3" or something.
Yes,
In the movies.
statuesque.
If you're gonna be like top tier. If you're gonna be
Yeah.
like top tier in the movies. Now, if you're on TV, depending on popularity and stuff, they can make that work. But if you're yeah, okay, so we agree on this. So, and this is true for we obviously know that's true for the dudes, but people don't actually think about that with the women. Now, music, I mean, it's a little bit different, but with that, that's what they want. And so the thing about it is, another argument I've heard is that Jada, she takes a lot of that out on Will because she's in Will's shadow, and then that's one thing. The other thing is this resentment that she has, what she has been able to maintain it because she's black famous. But when it comes to them white folks,
Right,
let's
right,
keep it all the way
right,
100. They give
right,
no damn about who Jada is without Will Smith. Like the
right.
white folks, and that just is what it is. And a lot of times, a lot of sisters, that's the main thing that counts is that white validation. It's not enough to just be big amongst black people. You want to and that's true for some black people too. You want that mainstream. And so, well, I don't know if that, I don't know, but it is, it's something to throw out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that
Let's
has
get
some credence. I
Let's
definitely
get KP from KC in here on this.
All right, so it's been a great conversation. I'm gonna hop off real quick, so appreciate it.
Okay.
take
Thanks,
it easy.
Ed.
Ed.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think it's very interesting, as Truth was saying. Truth is never favored. Saying I'm back of what he's saying because I'm 38, and most of the generation that I grew up with and that my cousins that's my age, they are pretty much into full blown liberalism as far as thought process. And
Mm.
anytime I come up against what their daughters wear as far as teenagers or young girls, it's like, oh no, she can wear that. So I'm pretty sure his experience is similar to what mine is.
I'm 38 too.
And in the black community, it's almost like having standards is against the law
Mm-hmm.
at this age group, TJ. And
Mm-hmm.
it's very prevalent to see people embrace that ideology that they represented. Because I was telling somebody this the other day, Will and Jada Smith kind of represented that ideology to the T, because Will is the wife, Jada is the
Mm.
husband.
Correct.
And it's also reversed with the kids. The
Okay,
boy is the girl
whoever
and
this
the
is,
girl is the boy.
we're gonna have to disagree. It in my opinion, it has everything to do with liberalism because again, conservatism. You're not gonna you as a conservative, you don't your children don't dictate what goes down. I'm just
Correct.
saying.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. When and it becomes the things like this, TJ. you'll find out that as you grow in this space and you talk to these younger ladies, they will have all these objectives to what you already know is right and what you know that works, and they won't have answers, but they will sidestep the questions that you ask. And I
Hmm.
remember you. I remember you being on a show a couple weeks ago on a Lapeef show, and you was
Mhm.
asking a question. It may have been to one of the. It was to one of the ladies on the panel, and they danced all around the question, and it made you so hot because I watched your face. They danced better than Gregory Hines around this question. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But that's what we get at 30 as 38-year-old men. That man at the top right is telling you he's experiencing the same thing. We seeing a lot of dancing around questions. They start to answer questions like skilled politicians at a young age.
Yeah, I will agree that there are degrees to liberalism. I will agree that there are degrees.
But I
Uh,
would say this. I would say this, TJ. Why are
mhm.
we fighting as African American people so much against standards when we already know that based on what our communities look like, that the standards are already low?
Exactly, bro.
Wow, I don't even have an answer for that.
It
Hey,
really makes
hey,
it
bro.
makes no logical sense, does it, brother?
Oh my man.
I don't even have an answer for that. Wow. Say that one more again. I
It's
gotta think
very
about it.
fascinating for black people to be fighting against standards when the standards are already low. It's almost like we're at the bottom, but we want to go further.
It's in other words, it's like we ain't low enough. We ain't low enough. We got to get.
That that's what it
You
is.
know
Like
what?
that's
But
what it is. So this is
I'm gonna
look. This is
offer
what
this. I'm gonna offer this as a possible explanation, and it may be bullcrap, but I'm gonna offer it as a possible explanation that people that are, let's say, between 35 and up, have seen what a real standard looks like, as opposed to the ones that are under that. Or I'm guessing, because for me, I largely attribute to my standards based on what I grew up around and what I've seen. Whereas that a lot of people that were younger, they've never seen it. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is not an excuse, but my mom actually said this. She said that she was talking about, because my mom is in college, and she was trying to explain something to certain young ladies about how a lady is to be. But she had to think about the fact, she said, these women that were in their 20s, all they've seen for the past, all their existence is what they see. They've never seen ladies of class, grace, dignity. They've never seen it. I don't know. What are your
I
thoughts?
think I think you're right, and I think you're right to a certain degree, but
Hmm.
it's almost very sad because I'm starting to see, as truth is probably as well, is that the grandma competition is heating up.
Oh, Jesus.
Bro, you.
Hold that thought. Let me read a couple of comments. Ace Butterfly said, what I noticed with celebrity couples is there is usually one spouse is more quote unquote active or famous, while the other spouse is less active. Example, Denzel and Pauletta. Absolutely. And Paul and I don't even know if people knew that Pauletta is actually an actress. She's an
Yeah, and
actress.
I think that was strategically placed that way because that's why I'm saying Will and Jada was placed in front of us for that reason.
Hmm.
If they give
Exactly.
you, if like truth, that's what I'm saying. Truth. If they give you Will and Jada and they are the opposite, then that becomes the norm of the feminized man and the masculinized woman. I mean, it is very simple to see. I mean, I'm pretty sure Truth is seeing all up and down his page,
Bro.
ladies that agreed with the slapping.
And that's what I'm saying. People don't understand that it's funny that everybody's opposed to this, but this is the way the world is going. Their lifestyle, their children, everything that they represent, the man and the woman becoming a man, literally and figuratively, and now
Hmm.
in marriages, They're the poster child for this whole entire wave.
They are.
That's why
let
I
me
said
go back.
people were supporting this. It was nobody. It wasn't an outcry going against like this is a terrible thing.
Okay, let me read a couple of more paragraphs in this Variety article. It says, meanwhile, the SAG AFTRA, the SAG Awards, released a statement after the Oscars incident saying Smith could also face disciplinary action from this guild. So he could also face disciplinary action from the SAG. We have been in contact with the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences and ABC about this incident and will work to ensure this behavior is appropriately addressed. SAG-AFTRA does not comment on any pending member disciplinary process. The statement said. Earlier in the week, Academy President David Rubin and CEO Dawn Hudson had met with Smith, who face suspension, expulsion, or other actions to discuss the events of the night. The Academy's earlier statements in response to Smith's actions said the Academy condemns the actions of Mr. Smith at last night's show. The organization said in a statement, we have officially started a formal review around the incident and will explore further action and consequences in accordance with our bylaws, standards of conduct, and California law.
Yeah. See,
Mm,
you know what I
mm,
think? I think Will probably try to get out in front of it, but now they're
hmm.
coming. They're coming. They're
Yeah.
coming. I feel sorry for him, man. I really do because it's just another demonstration of how we do not have grace for each other, man. And it's sad. It's really sad. It's an old thing.
Well,
It's
I think
people
truth.
love
Go
go
ahead, truth. I'm gonna let you finish it. I'm gonna go after you.
yeah. People one thing that people love more than to see somebody rise is to see them fall. And once we see them fall, we love to trample all over them. And that's what's going on. This man is probably at his lowest point. You spoke about it, but I'm TJ, but I'm speak about it a little bit more in depth. When he went and grabbed his trophy, he started crying. He cried in front of everyone. And if you don't have no compassion for nobody when that man was crying, man, you just don't. But that man was hurt for what he did. He
And
was hurt.
And here's the thing, you make a good point because again, even Mr. Randolph said what he was crying about wasn't what he was crying about. Okay.
Hmm.
He was not crying, he was not crying about winning the award.
Right.
He was
Right.
crying
Right.
about what he had done and like I
Hmm.
have really stepped in some shit
Yeah,
right now.
I effed up. I
Yeah.
can't
Hmm.
believe it.
I
Yep.
and again, I have, as my dad said, I shitted and fell back in it.
Yeah. It's very because he put himself in a position where he no longer had any power. That's what he did. He put himself in a position where he no longer had any power. And
Mm,
the
yeah.
my main problem with it was he did it on the night that Will Packer produced it. So everybody was shining the light that we were producing the Oscars. So you produce it. Samuel L. even won it. We didn't even get to see that highlighted. And Denzel gave Samuel L. the Oscar. We didn't get to see that. The biggest memory from this Oscar will forever be him smacking him.
Well, and that's and some you said he's cried before, and yes, he has, but here's the thing. Those tears Those tears are exactly for what KP from KC just said. Because after he did what he did, the gravity of what he, not only what he did, but
Yep.
when he did it and everything that surrounded that, that's what those tears are for.
The weight of it fell on him
Hmm.
right there.
Yes, that's what
Yep.
the tears are
Weight.
for. Because he said, okay, Will Packer, Samuel L. Jackson, this is one of the most diverse Oscars. All these things, like True said, the full weight of that's what those tears are for.
And
Let
to
me,
think they were boycotting 6 years ago, him and his wife.
Yep.
I'm pointing to a screen that y'all can't see.
That's fine, but it's just it's just a horrible look because man, he played so many pivotal roles, and the roles that he played of fathers, especially black fathers. He played Pursuit of Happiness. He played I Am Legend.
I Am
He
Legend.
played Enemy of the State. He played King Richard. Nobody even
He
remembers
played
that he
Muhammad
won the
Ali.
Oscar. He played. Nobody remembers that he won the Oscar the other night for King Richard, which is Venus and Serena's father.
And here's the thing. Richard Williams has also spoke against what he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so and see that's what I'm saying. It's like this is the thing. But this is gonna be one thing I want people to also be aware of to stay focused on Will. Not to look for somebody to bring him down further, but this is going to be a testament of what type of man he is. Because right now, this is him at his lowest,
Well,
and and when
I'm
he
sorry, go ahead.
rise, yeah, when he rise up, which Lord willing, I would hope for anyone to rise up. When he do, that's going to show you the greatness of a man. That at his lowest point, when the whole world has put you down, and
Well,
you rise up.
I'm gonna tell you something. I mean, it's similar but not. This is what they did to Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl with that thing that happened with the
Yeah, Justin
wardrobe
Timberlake. Yeah.
malfunction.
Hmm.
Because after watching her documentary, and this is not about Janet Jackson, after watching her documentary and finding out that her sister and her nieces were in the audience, I'm not convinced that she would have done that I mean on purpose.
Right,
I'm
right.
just not. You know, so but again, she was blackballed for years. Years.
Yeah, because they know she was in that spotlight, and she was the man. After she did that, it seems like music really changed for women. It really did. After that happened, the
Years.
music changed. The music changed.
For the profession thing, yeah, I can see where it's definitely a correlation with both of that. It's just that
And nothing happened to Justin Timberlake. I'm just saying. But moving right along,
mm,
personally, Ace Butterfly said, "I don't believe the tears were real. I think this was for Wills to gain sympathy." I I disagree. I
No,
disagree.
I think those tears are real.
I think
It's
they were
just
very. And here's the
very
thing,
unfortunate.
Mr. Randolph said, because if you're paying attention to his acceptance speech, I guarantee you that wasn't it. He
No,
had
that wasn't it.
he had
No.
planned for what he was going to say
Yeah, he just ad libbed that.
if he
Hmm.
won. If he won.
Hmm.
Mr. Randolph said he was completely incoherent.
yeah, you could.
He was rambling.
I'm about to say that. Look at what he was
Yeah,
saying.
he's rambling.
He
I
was
mean,
rambling.
The
y'all been
words
in
wasn't
church before.
flowing
Y'all
at
know how
all.
that pastor just get to rambling if he done lost his
Yeah,
thought. That's
yeah. His words wasn't flowing at all, man. That
yeah,
man
he was.
was broken.
Yeah,
He was
yeah, he
broken.
was gone, man. He was gone.
And it definitely did. It did over. Not only did it overshadow the moment of him receiving the Oscar for an extraordinary performance because he played that,
Yeah, he did.
but it overshadowed everything, and that is why I believe those tears are real. Those
I
tears are real.
wonder.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Everybody has a side to them, but if nothing else, he loves his mama too. So what he's thinking about, I just embarrassed my whole family.
Smith,
I
the
embarrassed
name.
my mother. I'm so that's the reason that I don't do certain things. I'm first of all, I'm not gonna embarrass Mr. Randolph. And even though my grandfather's no longer here, I'm not gonna embarrass him. I'm not gonna embarrass my mom. But for all that to go out the window, oh yeah, those tears are real. Trust. Those tears are real. Let me see what you got here. Yeah, he was incoherent. And what I'm praying is that he gets some help, professional help. That's what I'm praying for because it's clear he needs some.
He needs a relationship with God. That's what he needs.
Well,
He
yeah, for sure.
bad.
First and foremost, absolutely.
He need that bad because a lot of these things, not the incident that happened the other day, but the fact that he has been in this horrible situation with her. He would have been
Mhm.
able to see clearly if he had
Yes.
God in his life.
I'm gonna ask y'all something real quick. And this is what I've noticed in the last month with black men in particular. It went from Kanye West before him, then to Will Smith.
Yep, my
And
man.
what I've seen too, truth is this one too. I, TJ, I'm all for women getting positions. But when I seen this woman not answer the question when they asked her what is a woman, that
Oh,
really shocked me. So I ain't gonna jump all into that. But then I seen that brother standing over there and give that crying sympathy speech that he gave. And I'm like, this is humiliating.
Yep.
And all three of those happened right in a row. And then right after that happened, TJ, the next thing I heard was protect black women as a hashtag.
My man, I'm glad you got your eyes open, brother. I'm glad you got your eyes open.
TJ, that's just what I seen. I seen Kanye crying, then I seen Will, then I seen Cory Booker in the Senate or in the congressional hearings, whatever they were doing to get her in the office. And then the next thing I know, Will Smith gets his Oscar award for the pinnacle of his career. And the only thing we talking about now is a hashtag protect black women. And now this black man is about to lose almost everything over a smack.
uh,
Protecting a black woman too.
Yeah, yeah.
well, I've said this before. He was not protecting her, in my opinion.
No, no.
He wasn't.
No,
There was
no,
nothing to protect.
No,
no.
he
Could you?
wasn't protecting. I'm just saying the court the thing that
Yeah,
is
we know.
symbol.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know truth. Truth,
No,
we know. We know.
no, I know you know. I'm explaining to her. It's the symbolic of it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
TJ knows. TJ knows. TJ knows. And TJ, and as an experienced woman, I already know your answer to this question. You wouldn't put your husband in a
Hell
position
no.
where he could lose everything over a joke.
Hell no.
It's just utterly ridiculous. But I bet truth and I have seen up and down our Facebook pages of people saying, yes, he was right.
No.
But now that this verdict is coming out, you ain't gonna hear a word.
Right.
No.
It all changed now.
Okay, so he needs a divorce lawyer too. He needs to let the strag go. Listen, somebody tell me what strag means. I know that angry man says it
Axe
all the
angry man.
time. What is what is I think I know, but what is angry man says it all the time, the strag. What is that? Explain it. I think I know, but somebody break it down like a fraction for me, please.
I just think it's like it's an identification of a ghetto personality, loud, long nails, longer than they ought to be, not carrying himself in a way that's of a woman. I think that's the definition of it. But you know, they say it all the time. I just die laughing when I hear it.
I don't know either. It's a new struggling head. Yeah, yeah. That's probably if you look up in the
Yeah, that's
urban
probably
dictionary,
right.
that's probably what it is. A struggling head.
Yeah.
They come up with new words all the time. You know.
TJ, I remember you was telling a story about a month ago about your, I think it was your mom. You said she went in the store and she was telling the young lady, "Don't leave the baby in the car," or something. So that's probably what it was, TJ. That's probably what your mama ran into that day. A
Hell
struggling
yeah,
hag.
that's what she ran into. And again, Lord, see, you got me feeling all. See, don't mess with my mom. And see, I was about to. It was about to be a
Don't do
situation.
it. Don't you do it. Don't you do
It was about to be a situation that day. You understand me? But it was,
it. Don't you? Hey, true. She about to get out the nine with the extra clip and everything.
I'm like, you know. But hey, I am. Again, in all seriousness, again, this is the wait a minute, hold up. He needs to cash her out. Listen, and here's the thing. He knows it. Let me tell you something. I like to offer some personal insights, and I relay things that I've experienced personally. My daughter's father and I weren't married very long, and when it was clear that one, we shouldn't have got married in the first place, even though we tried to be a family for our daughter. When it came to go outside, when it became clear that it was just not going to work, it was the hardest thing for me to accept that it was not going to work. And I knew that it wasn't, because again, it's a failure. It was a failure. I felt like a failure. I felt that I failed myself, that I failed my daughter, that I failed him. But you know what you need to do. Yeah, Dookie. That's my dog. Um, but you know what you need to do to save yourself. But it is hard to do. It is hard to do so. And it's interesting because I'm not going to disparage my ex-husband, my daughter's father, but like Will, everyone could see it was destroying me. Our relationship was not healthy for me. Our own daughter could see it. Our own daughter could see it. She was 6. And she said, "What did y'all get married for in the first place?"
You know what somebody old told me one time? I'm gonna tell y'all, and I never forget this. Said the people that tell you the most truth is old folks, drunks, and kids.
Correct.
And I never forgot it, and I always believe that that's the truth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to just bring this to your attention. We one thing I'm fond of, and those who are know me in this space, I'm fond of children, and to see how much it has affected their children, what's going on in reference to her daughter writing letters to a person that is no longer here. And see, when I be having these conversations and people hear me say things, and the first thing they go to is, you hate women and stuff like that. No, I'm telling you, it's real things that's going on out here. And then when y'all see these type of things, it's like, oh wow, like this is really going on. Yes, it's people that go through certain things. The influence that a mother has on her children is enormous. Enormous. And now, what y'all don't understand is Willow now grows into becoming Jada. And Lord have mercy if she meets a man. I want y'all to think about what's going to happen with that.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a carbon copy. You're right. You're right. That's a carbon copy, and we see it all over. We see it all the time in our communities, and we try to act like that's not what we're seeing, but we see it all the time.
One moment here. Um Mr. Shane Vicious says the kids are grown, and that is true. They are grown. So at this juncture, and they're not newly grown either. But I'm thinking they are. Well, I know that Jaden has his own place, but I don't know if they all live. The other ones live together.
Do Mr.
But
Shane have kids?
say again.
Does Mr. Shane have kids?
Oh, I don't
I
know.
would like to know first. First, do he have children?
Mr. Shane Vicious, do you have any children? As I'm looking here some more.
And the oldest son that he had by the other wife, he's the only one that seems half normal to me.
Yeah, Trey. He says, except Willow will probably put that bull s on. Well,
Yeah. Do you have children? And the reason why I'm asking that for a reason. Um, for those who are parents,
I don't know what that means.
I think that means
Yeah.
no. So,
Okay.
so yeah, so now I could probably understand what the reason why you're saying it. When you become a parent, you
It
don't.
changes everything.
Yeah, it changes everything, brother. And number one thing that you learn as a parent, depending on what type of parent you are. If you're a parent that actually enjoys having children and you love your children and relish in the role that you are a parent and think that's the best gig in the world, parenting don't stop until you die.
Yep. And
They're
more
grown,
likely than not, go ahead, Truth.
yeah, they're grown in age, but they're still my babies. And I still will always have years and experience on them to teach and guide them.
And when they have friends that come over to your house, you become an extension to their friends.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just still sad here. It says, I'm reading here. On Tuesday, Smith initiated a virtual 6-minute call with the Academy president to apologize for the incident the next day. Okay. But see, here's the thing that I'm really, and again, we don't know that he hasn't. But I sure would have loved to hear that he reached out to Chris Rock personally to apologize.
I mean, it all depends. I mean, I probably not initially.
Mm-hmm.
Not initially, I probably, because if I meant to do something, I meant to do it. Now, if it was a situation where this was just impulsive, then yeah, I probably would apologize if I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
But if I meant it and I really felt that this was disrespectful, like I felt that you were intentionally being disrespectful, then for me, I would always believe that a man would honestly understand that if you were blatant disrespectful, there are consequences for whatever comes with that. That's how I would look at
Well, he said he's not gonna have any children. And again, listen,
it. Hey,
uh,
look,
I gotta be honest. I don't have a problem because again, I'm gonna tell you something. I just had my G baby, and I just talked to my daughter and son-in-law, a few months ago, and asked, them what's going on in the world. Would they is that having causing them to reconsider whether or not they will have more children? And they said it is. So I understand.
yeah,
I would love some more G babies, but again, I'm not sure that I would want in the world that we live in right now. I'm not sure that I'd be so inclined to want to have children either.
yeah.
Now,
I was thinking the same thing
I
until
agree. I agree. I've told family members that too because I've been done for over 10 years. My youngest is 11, but I'm like, man, where I'm looking at this, when I take my niece and nephews to school, or if I pick them up from school, and I can see kids wearing T-shirts with certain things on them, I'm like, wow.
right. If
So
depending on what type of individual you are,
hmm
like with me, I have a specific way that now that I've grown up and become a man, I'm have a specific type of way that I'm gonna raise my children. And the way I want to raise them for sure is not conducive to the way this world is going. So I will have to, if I decide to have children again, I will have to, you really going to have a strategic plan. Like I do not want them going to public schools. So I will have to be in a supreme position for them to be home with their mom, even to the reference point where their mom knows how to homeschool them. All these examples I see working because my brothers, they do that with their wives and their children. So I know if I find the right individual, it's possible. But if you can't protect your children, if you if probably like 50% of the time they're not going to be they're going to be away from you,
Right.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Nope.
Yep. And that's one of the reasons I'm glad that I'm retired, because if I need to learn how to homeschool my granddaughter, then that's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm already a fool.
Yep.
I was already a fool with the one I had, so I'm sure enough gonna be a fool with my G babies. Okay, let's see here. The caller is going to have to. What's the point? Yeah, well, we're not gonna wish upon the star, but we're gonna definitely call on the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit. Let's see here. The first time I what?
This is comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see what type of individual we dealing with now.
Whoa, at 23. And I
That's
have to say,
young, man.
I guess I can accept that, but again, to be so jaded at 23, that's kind of concerning to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I
tough,
Um,
said.
man.
That's why I said we see
that's
now.
kind of concerning to me, because here's the thing, I know it's difficult out here, and I can't even Mr. Randolph said that he is not sure, you know, he said he would hate to be a 20 or 30 something man now. He
Yeah, I
said
told
that.
my brother-in-law that. I told my brother-in-law that he
Yeah.
23. I said, man, I don't know what I this right here. This is
Yeah.
different, different.
Yeah, Mr. Randolph said that he would hate to be that, now, and um because it's just women. But let's get back to the Jezebel spirit for a second, shall we? Women, we have to use our powers for good. And KP from KC, you said, "Oh, I lost you." He said that would I have would I allow my husband to do that? Absolutely not. Now, and I have to say, I can't keep him from doing anything, but I definitely would have tried to stop him. Definitely, because again, as a wife, my job is to look out for my husband, just like his job is to look out for me. And we protect each other, although our protection is in different ways. Um, but I never would have allowed him to. I would have tried with my might to keep him from doing anything like that. That would have jeopardized everything that he'd worked for. You know, and now wow. And I think Ed said that they're looking at the possibility of like 10-year suspension. Shoot, he 53. If that happens, he's gonna be 63. What? 63.
Mm, mm, mm.
And I'm gonna look, I can be completely off base, but I'd be mad as MF if I was him at her. Seriously. I'd be mad as an MF. If I was him, I'd probably at her. Am I wrong for thinking that?
No, I just don't think he can get. I don't know if he can get any madder at her. I think he already at his boy. I think he more mad at himself for what he did.
I agree.
Yeah. I know he mad at her, but the one thing that I try to tell people, and this is why, right, when people ask me, what's taking me so long? It ain't that it ain't women out here, and it ain't that I have a problem. I don't want that, and that type of stuff is way more prevalent than what you think. It's a lot of things if you don't do your due diligence. That pretty face, nice body, soft spokenness. They don't have to be all open and having. They don't have to do what she did. They can do it to a lesser degree, and it's still
Listen,
not conducive. So a lot of people need to be take this in solace and really think, especially us men, we have to do a better job because it's our choice. When the marriage fail, it's on us because we the man, we the one that chose. We got on the knee. We chose that individual. We have to do a better job of choosing who to be with because once you're in it, you in it. That's your responsibility. That's how I look at it. And that's the only reason why I'm so violently opposed to divorce. You know what I'm saying? I serve God through Jesus Christ, not just in my words, but in my behavior and also with my choices.
Right.
So I'm going to constantly and I'm going to promote to do the right thing. That doesn't mean people will always choose to do the right thing, and it doesn't mean it's conducive to for said scenario. But when you giving a wife, that's your plate. That's why you got to be careful.
Okay, I'm going to share some of the stuff. How many of you all saw Courtney Michelle's live yesterday about Jada Pinkett and the Jezebel spirit? Now, if you've all seen it, I'm not going to. I was going to show some different parts of it. Um. Okay. Okay. Somebody's asking. As a wife, how would you gracefully stop your husband from doing that in public without making? You know what I would have done? It would have been apparent to me that when he looked at me, because I already said I don't think she was hurt. I think she was annoyed. There's a difference. I think she was annoyed. And if I saw my husband stand up, I would have grabbed his hand gently and say, no, baby, or just, you know, because again, at the moment he stood up, or even if maybe she thought he was going to go to the restroom, just say that. And I saw him walking toward, I said, babe, I would have done something. I would have done something. But at the moment he stood up, I would have grabbed his hand, or I would have stood up and, said, babe, or did something. Yeah, I would have did something. Oh, yes, RM, you worked that stream. So I was trying to find something. I'm just going to show you again, talking about the Jada Pinkett Smith and the Jezebel spirit. I was floored because again, I didn't, I'm not into rock like that. I'm going to share these words from her video yesterday. The lyrics to this song, Worship Me.
You know what? I ain't fooling with you no more.
What? What? You know, I was floored. I was floored. Worship me. These lyrics. I'll let you stay if you behave and do exactly what I say. What? You got to worship me. Take time to recognize this power you will not defy, and I won't let you lie down here until this point is clear. You know the truth is something you can't approve. What? You tell me how you see it, I tell you how I want it. You tell me how you feel it, I tell you how it's going to be. Wait. She wrote these lyrics. I'm through.
Look, you know what? I believe it's validity there because of what I know about spiritual warfare. But a lot of people, if they can't say all of a sudden that, you know what I'm saying. I know you know what you're looking for, and I know you know about that type of stuff. We know demons are real. They are
What?
actual real. It's a real thing, not the stuff you see on television. They are actually authentic, and
When
yeah.
you have a chance, go look. I want you to go look up the imagery. Her band is Wicked Wisdom. Look up the imagery, look up the lyrics, look at the symbols. The serpents on the covers of the albums. I was through. I was through.
So what about Beyonce? Since we're here,
What about it?
her songs and everything has things like that as well. You know that,
Yeah,
right?
I don't. You, I have. I'm gonna tell you something. I have not been a Beyonce fan in about 10 years, so I don't even know most of her words to the song. So because again, I saw it moving in a direction I was not comfortable with.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. See. But a lot. This the reason why I'm pointing this out because people going to want to split hairs and say this is for that, this for that. Majority of people in Hollywood in those positions, they're these type of people. They want to be put in godlike positions. They believe in the highest form of idolatry. This is what they do. That's why the term is called Hollywood.
Hmm.
You see what
Well,
I'm saying? Like it's like I like this is nothing new. That's what I'm saying. These people are full of corruption.
well, I tell you what. Again, I'm gonna circle back. Let me see here. Okay, look. Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. I can't say that because I my facial expressions have gotten me in a lot of trouble over the course of my life. So I probably would have had a facial expression,
That's
but
what I'm talking about. Thank you for being honest. See,
I would have had a facial expression, because again, my facial expressions have gotten me into so much trouble over the course of my life. And again, a little story here. When I was in ROTC, the commanding officer said to me, he said, "What's going to get you in trouble, TJ, is not your inability to do the job. It's going to be your facial expressions because you could be saying with your lips, 'Yes, sir,' 'Yes, ma'am,' but your eyes are saying, 'Eat shit and die.'" Yeah. That's what he said to me. So, yeah, I probably would have had a facial expression. But even in that, my job is to, protect my husband. And especially for something as frivolous as that, nah, nah.
so would you? So what? Okay, so let's run the scenario.
Hmm.
Brother Randolph heard the joke. He's trying to laugh it off. He looks at you, sees okay, it's hard because you wear your emotions on your sleeve, so it's hard. It's definitely you can tell when you don't like something. He
Hmm.
sees that and that is unpleasing to you, and then what would be the next step? Because now, okay, it looks like he's starting to get up now.
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. And we're not in the Oscars. I told y'all about the fiasco when we closed on our house. I was so upset because they kept messing up everything. And what was supposed to be, what could have been a seamless process, they just dorked it up. My husband knew I was very, I was very angry. I was frustrated because when you're messing with my money, they mess with they mess with our time, and they mess, again, Mr. Randolph had to take a whole day off work. I mean, they were just really just messing everything up. But he saw how upset I was getting. But what he did, he reassured me everything was okay. He saw that I was upset. He saw that they had done some disrespectful things toward us, but it affected me more than him because he's a calm, cool, and collected. But he saw how it affected me. He could have lost his temper, but he didn't. What he did was, and he tended to my emotions. He tended to me to make sure that I was okay. He comforted me. And then when he comforted me, he dealt with them individually. Oh, he did deal with them. He did deal with them, but he comforted me. And I think that's what Will could have done. Did I
So
answer the question or not?
yeah, so okay, so you said he dealt with them. He had a conversation.
Hmm.
Okay, and was that in your midst or that was off to the side
No,
where you couldn't see it?
it was off to the side.
Okay,
But he made sure I was okay first.
okay.
He
So
made sure
okay,
I was okay
so
first.
should Will make okay? So let's should would have been better if he did it that way and then went up there and dealt with the guy.
I think it would have been better again if he was concerned because again I'm about decorum and again y'all see my stuff behind me again I guess part of this my military bearing constantly is that he could because it was a freaking joke. I mean, like when my mom called me and told me what happened, I thought he had made a joke about the entanglement. And Mr. Randolph did too. So we kind of understood if that was the case, why he would have, went off. But when it was a joke and he said, this is what he went up there for? He said, no, I would have he said, I if he was concerned that he could have did this, or he could have said, look, keep my wife's name out your mouth. He could have did that. He
Hmm.
could have did that. He could have did that. And you saw how crazy he looked. So Chris would have known that he was serious, that he wasn't playing. It wasn't no jokety joke. He could have did that.
Yeah, I mean it. It's all he could have. I mean, of course, he could have did ways
My
that.
point is he did the extreme.
Right, 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 right,
He did the extreme. He did
right.
the extreme. Let me see here. Let me see here. With all those cameras around, I would have acted like I did. you know, and again, I can't say I don't understand him feeling the need that he had to do something if he thought his wife was hurt or annoyed. I'm not saying that I can't understand that he felt like he needed to do something, but he didn't have to do that. Like I said, he didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
He could have signaled like, like cut it out. Or he could have like he yelled from the stand, "Hey, hey, keep my wife's name out your mouth."
yeah. I believe. I believe he would have probably, if it wasn't. Again, this is what I was trying to tell people. I believe that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And a lot of stuff that you know. That's why a lot of times people don't understand what men know what men go through and trying to live up to this persona, and then also trying to you know be a man, and then also trying to take care of your wife, even though we already know the way he's taking care of us is incorrect.
Mhm.
And I believe that for me, because I know what it's like to get to that boiling point where it's like, all right, it's it's just a reaction, and then afterwards you probably like, hold up, man, like did
Mhm.
I do that, and or that wasn't the best course of action. I don't think anyone believed that was the best action, but unless you are that person that has been in situations like that, it's very hard to say, yeah, I'd have took the joke, I'd have took the situation, I'd have handled it better because I'm more considerate about people's feelings. And if you're not a confrontational person, then yeah, I believe that you wouldn't do it. Me, I am a confrontational person. I hold respect as a high esteem. I believe all people should show it. Um, this world that we're living in, common decency and respect is sorely lacking. This platform we're on, disrespect constantly travels back and forth from people,
Mhm.
where a lot of people are, in my opinion, Chris Rocks. where they think they can say things because it's funny or it's called trolling or it's called, we're on YouTube. Why would you be so upset? A lot of people have, their name, their respect, and who they are and what they take care of. It means a lot to them. So it's all about people different. The way you will handle it, I wouldn't say you're wrong for handling it that way.
Well, here's the thing. I think, and absolutely, people are going to handle things the way that they deem appropriate. But the caveat is you must be prepared for the outcome and that's what, if he felt that he handled it the way he needed to handle it, that's his right. But the consequences you have to be prepared for as well. And that is what he's facing now. And then it becomes a question of, was it worth it?
Absolutely, yeah, and I agree with that. With all your choices comes a consequence. All of them, every single one of them. And
And oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm saying that is correct. Now, if you're a person that can't deal with consequences, then you need to think. You really need to think. What's the repercussions that's going to come behind it? Because it's not going to be like how you think. Now, if he is in a situation that he wasn't prepared for all these type of things, and then the gavel falls on him, then yeah, he has to deal with that consequence. And again,
Yeah.
this would be a testament to see what type of man he is, to see if he can get up from it.
I mean, and here's the thing, you think about it, but it's funny because when you find yourself in certain situations, you act before you think. And that is very true. Again, my situation is not nearly to the extent as Will Smith's, but I have shared on this platform before. When I was on active duty, there was a situation with my daughter's father and me, and because of the situation, he said something very hurtful to our daughter because he was angry with me, and it hurt my daughter so bad. All I wanted to do was to take the pain away. So I did something I shouldn't have done. I used my government credit card to pay for tickets to go to the Destiny's Child concert because all I wanted to do was to take her pain away because she was so hurt. I knew I wasn't supposed to do it, but all I cared about at that moment is what would make my child feel better. And even though I used the credit card, bought the tickets, as soon as I got paid, I put the money, I paid it off, but it still triggered the notification because it wasn't a government expense. But I didn't think, I just acted because my child was hurt. So
Mm-hmm.
the consequence was I had to go before the commanding officer and accept whatever punishment that was going to come with that,
Yep.
which could have been, I could have lost my commission. I could have, a serious, but thankfully, to your point, my commanding officer showed me grace because
Mm-hmm.
I explained to him what happened, and and because he was a father and all that kind of stuff, he had mercy on me because my career could have ended.
Mercies, and that's what me across this board. I'm seeing a lot of people lack that mercy, and the way, like, we have all done things like how you said, we have done things with the best of intentions. Some of the things that has been the worst things imaginable to this world has been done with the best of intentions,
Hmm.
but we have done it wrong. It's
Hmm.
that's sometimes part of being human.
And here's the thing, though, I had to prepare. I'm glad that I was given mercy, but I had to prepare myself that if I didn't receive it, because there are consequences to the choices that we make. And I was scared, but I did it. so, so I had, and gratefully that it didn't turn out and it wasn't on my record. I didn't even get a counseling for it. But that was a major deal. But again, in anything, you have to be prepared for whatever the fallout is. And I think that's what he's facing right now. So let's see here. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And see, and here's the thing. We're not even talking about, I'm not even concerned about career things because I'm sure I believe that he will rebound. I'm really concerned about his mental health. I really am. I really am.
Likewise, I'm concerned. Legitimately concerned about him. Forget the Oscars. Forget everything. All about that. That man has made enough money. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. Him. Can he rebound as a man, not an actor,
Hmm.
as Willard Smith? That's what I want.
And can he look himself? And here's the thing, can he look himself in the mirror and forgive himself?
Yep. And that's the hardest thing. That's what I'm saying. So many people putting him down. Y'all have no idea where he's beating himself up. Like he's probably busting, like, and even you talked about it. It can be even get to a so bad where we're talking about self deletion. That's the worst part that come out because we already know black men has a high case in that. This is an actual real thing. So that's why I'm trying to tell people, please be careful when you're saying this about people because this is serious. This is
Yeah.
serious.
And it is hard to, when you have stepped in it. And like I said, people, like I said, Mandel talked about, he's a failure, this, that, and the other. And I was talking to my dad earlier today. He knows that. He knows that he knows it. Is he willing to accept it? That remains to be seen. But trust, he knows it. Just like when parents drop the ball, they know it. They know they failed in certain areas. Whether they ever own it, but that don't mean they don't know it. They know it. And his failure is on a public stage, a world stage. So he has to forgive himself. And that's hard to do. If you don't have, again, if you don't have God to help you with it. Because like True said, for every person that's beating him down, oh, he's beating himself down worse. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. And when he is by himself at night, all the things that are going through his head, I get that. So I am truly, I'm praying for this man. I'm praying that he is healed because he's hurting. And he was hurting long before Sunday night.
Exactly. Exactly.
Long before Sunday night. And man, I don't know. Again, because like when Courtney did her show yesterday, and again I did some research after. I'm like, when did when did she become so selfish?
She been like that the whole time. Like that's what I was saying. This is nothing. This is like it's nothing new, and that's what I was saying. A lot of people wasn't looking at this as the things that she was doing to him in a bad light. They wasn't. They was saying this is part of their relationship, and this is a good thing, and they're great for each other, and all this type of stuff. And now the same people that said that are saying, "Oh, they need a divorce. They need to like hold up. Like, which one is it? Like, which one
Well,
is
people are saying that based on what had been shown, because for many years they showed us that they looked like they were a happy family.
No, I'm saying all the information that is being presented now, because obviously this is what's trending, that
Hmm.
was there. Like it is like been there. Like there was stuff in like that was talked about on Facebook years ago when she had shared about her problems sexually and things like that. Then it turned out she had problems sexually with him. See, it went from her talking about herself, then saying that he's the cause of it as well. It was like it went from one thing to now let's put him down about it. And like, cause she been the main topic of my conversations a lot of times, like for over the last couple of years, because I was trying to point out like this is not what y'all think it is. It's bad. It's a horrible situation. We shouldn't be validating this. We shouldn't be glorifying it. Nobody should esteem to have a relationship like this. This is trauma. You don't know what that man going through. You think he's cool with his wife doing these type of things. No man is. And but now it's all coming out.
I can't imagine. Me personally, I mean, I'm sure there are those, but me personally, I can't imagine a man that is okay with his wife having relations with somebody else. I'm just saying, I can't imagine any man that would be okay with that.
Thank you.
I can't.
Something that's sacred. She's supposed to be off limits. This is your wife. This is something that you've been praying for, been looking for. This is the individual that you will give up all other women for. Why would you want her being touched by anything?
Well, Emil, you're absolutely right. And that is why I'm so, like I said, I was walking, listening to my music, and that summertime song that he did came on, and as I'm listening to it, because that's still one of my favorite songs of the summer, I swear it is, and today was a beautiful day. But my mind immediately shifted to Robin Williams.
I love that girl.
And I mean, I cry because see, I'm a old school. So, y'all know Robin Williams, but see, I know him going back to Mork and Mindy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know him way, way, way back. Mork and Mindy, Nanu Nanu. So I cried and sometimes still cry because he made so many people laugh, but he was dying inside.
Yep. Yep. And the craziest thing was what he was going through. One of the greatest movies that he did was this movie called Patch Adams.
I don't think I've seen that one.
If you're a Robin Williams fan, you got to see this one. This is beautiful because he actually was a doctor helping people out with problems what he was going through, along with physical things. You got to see it. It was beautiful.
I think I
It's
will.
a beautiful movie. Beautiful.
Me and Mr. Randolph, I look at this weekend.
All right now.
So yeah, yeah, my baby be home early in the morning. Yay. You know, wow. I thank God for joining me. Like I said, I wasn't planning to be here, but I just saw it popped up. He resigns. How on April Fool's Day. Like, is it a joke or is it real? But it was real. But like Ed said, people wondering if the slap was real, but the consequences definitely are. So if people were ever wondered before, they should know now.
Yep.
Yeah. And Anthony Bourdain, again, another one. Kate Spade. But just going back to the comedians, Robin Williams made us laugh for decades.
Yep.
And
Good laugh.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, one of my favorite movies to this day that cracks me up is Miss Doubtfire. I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
I was about to say that that's the other one, Mrs. Delphi.
Mrs. Doubtfire, boy, that I mean, but he was man dealing, and nobody knew. I mean, maybe his close family knew, but I mean, so I asked, we need to lift Will Smith up. We do, because I'm concerned. I really am. Yeah, I'm really concerned. But it's 10 o'clock. I've been on a bit 2 hours. Thank y'all for hanging out with me.
Yeah,
Thank you, RM.
you did a great show on freestyle. You freestyled this one, it turned into something great.
Freestyle Friday.
Oh, you know what? Dang. Okay.
It
Okay,
is
now.
Friday, right?
That's
Freestyle
right.
Friday.
Okay, now. Okay.
So thank y'all for joining me again. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button on your way out. REM, I got you. Thank you for holding me down. Uh y'all have a well tomorrow. Me and my daughter, me and my fruit, are we're gonna go. We're doing Ladies Legacy tomorrow. This is our first time in a couple of months. So we're gonna do tomorrow. We're talking about child support. Uh-oh.
Mm. Mm. Oh, and Danny been showing out too. She been traveling, eating the best foods and everything like that. I see
Yeah.
she's been enjoying herself. Tell her,
I
go
said,
ahead,
yeah.
man.
I said, she
Go
been
ahead.
stunting. She been
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
stunting. Her and Kevon been stunting.
yeah. They've been
And I
out there.
said, y'all need to appreciate your mama. Y'all need to appreciate your mama because I had my G baby from Friday to Wednesday so they could go to Las Vegas.
Mm.
So yeah, so they could stunt.
Yep, they've been getting it. That's what I'm talking about. Mm, mm, mm.
Well, thank y'all for joining me. And if you get a chance to join us tomorrow for Ladies Legacy, like I said, we're talking about child support, the good, bad, and the ugly. We're going live at 12 Central Standard Time. And I'll take some calls because we're gonna talk about some experiences, Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
All
Thank
right,
you,
you
Ace
have a
Butterfly.
good one. Thank you.
Huh?
I said you have a good one. Thank you.
Okay. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining me. Y'all have a good night and have a great weekend. Y'all stay safe. Till next time.